What is up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about something that I haven't talked about on this channel, and I'm super excited to talk about because it's new, it's different, and it's something I've always wanted to do for a YouTube video but never had the confidence to do. Today we're going to be talking about how I personally like to edit my photos on Adobe Lightroom. So stick around, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Let's get into it. So as you can see on my screen, we've got the photo that I went out and I took today, which is the photo of just a car. It's got some beach behind it, it's got some clouds, a bit of a blue sky, some grass, some shadows. Personally, in my opinion, that sky is super just whitewashed. There's no detail in it. The clouds are really hard to notice except for like the really noticeable white and dark clouds. Like there's meant to be clouds here, but they just look completely washed out. So we're going to add some color to that. We're going to make the lighting a lot darker so that blue can come out. The red in this looks really good, but the shadowing doesn't look as great in my opinion. Like I reckon the shadowing kind of adds too much detail in the grass, and it kind of draws your attention away from what's going on because it is the more dominant thing going on. The grass is too light. It looks kind of pale and lifeless, so we're just going to add some lighting and color to that. There is a lot of noise in the photo. If you do look, you can kind of see it on the bonnet there. So if I zoom in, if it will let me. There we go. If we zoom in and have a look around, you can really notice that there's a lot of noise in that red. We'll fix that up a little bit. This photo won't be perfect because I'm not having a full few hours to kind of sit down and go through it detail by detail, make sure there's no noise, make sure everything has the right coloring on it. And so it's just going to be a quick one. It's my personal way of doing it, so you guys are probably going to look at this and go, that's not how I do it, it's not how you edit. But as I always say, my motto for this channel and for kind of like the way I want to live my life is creativity is yours, because I do struggle with expressing my own creativity. So this is my way of starting to do that. So personally, I press auto. I let it do kind of the main stuff. So as you can see, it added the blur, it added a little bit more lighting onto the cloud, so it's a little more detailed. The grass is a little bit greener, has a little bit of darkness and shadowing to it. The shadows are a little bit lighter here. They're not as dark and prominent, same as over here. Yeah, it just adds a lot more life to the photo, a little bit more realistic like perspective to it. I normally just do like a bit of an S-curve, so I kind of get it to the point where you can just see that it's lighter, but it's not to the point where the darkness is gone. And then I like to drag this one down just a tiny bit until you can kind of see that it's gone dark, but it's not too dark. I always, like, I don't have any presets or anything. I always just do everything as I see it. Like if I see that's a little bit too dark, I'll come back and I'll move that up. Maybe I want it there because later on I'll have other settings that will make it too dark, so then I have to make it lighter. But for now, I just do like a bit of an S-curve, just so like the background's lighter, the front's a little bit darker, so it has more detail up front. In temperature in this photo, because it is like prominent blue, I'm going to change it more to like the lighter, colder side. And I'm probably just going to chuck it on maybe like 2 or 3 just for now to see how it is. Maybe a little bit of green tint for the grass, and like I just do everything how I feel like it should go. If I then feel like it should be changed later on, I'll just come back, change the sliders around. Like I could spend a few hours just doing this. Sometimes I spend a few minutes on a photo, sometimes I spend a few hours, maybe half an hour. It depends how much detail I want to put into a photo, how much time I have, and what I'm willing to kind of like have the photo to turn out as. Now there is a lot of noise in this photo, so I'm probably going to put the noise reduction and the color noise reduction into like the high 20s. And as you can see, it's really like smoothed out that photo. But maybe the color, just the normal noise reduction could go up just a little bit more, same as the color. Usually I have, the highest I normally go is about 35. I don't push it any further than that because it makes everything look smooth and artificial. Like, yeah, you could push it up all the way to 100, but it would just look artificial and it'll look kind of wrong. And that's not what I like in photos. I try and keep photos as natural and as original as they were when I took the photo. Like, I don't know how to use most of these tools, I'll admit it. And I'm proud to say that because, I've only been using it for maybe a year and a bit now. And there is a lot, like, you're going to hear that and you're going to go, wow, a year and a bit and you haven't learned that much. Well, there's a lot to learn on this. Like, there's a lot. So I'm going to add a bit of color because here was a little bit dark. And just because of that purple, like that line that's coming across from the shadow and the lighting, it just kind of made it look a little purple on it. But that's all right because, I don't know. So I normally do exposure and then I kind of put the contrast up. I'm just going to leave highlights and shadows because there isn't really many highlighting issues. Maybe shadows could go up a little bit. I'll probably put it on like 1. So I kind of just like look at the photo, slide it up and down and see what it should be going on. I don't reckon the bonnet should have much texture because it is a pretty smooth surface, same as like over here. It is like a smoothish type surface, so I don't want it to stand out and like have a lot of like bumps and grooves and stuff in it because it isn't like a G10 handle or something that I normally would be editing. And that's another thing, doing something like this that has skies and grass and ocean and a big prominent vehicle in front is something I rarely ever edit photos of. I normally do photos of knives and watches and just up close smaller objects that are more that have got a lot of detail and a lot of surface area on them. So something like this really just throws me off. I just like to pull the slider one way than the other and see which way looks better, and then I kind of adjust it. So I reckon because it's a really bright day, there should be a lot of light on the vehicle. Of course, there will be one side that should be darker, which is this side, but I'm not going to be picky about that because I only have 10 minutes to quickly edit up this photo and get it done. So yeah, just pull up the sharpness, do a little bit of a noise on it, so kind of smooths out a little bit. Just put a little bit of defringing on it. Maybe a little bit of, yeah. Pull that one down to about 17 plus 1, 15. Yeah, so I kind of just pull the sliders around and hope that it comes out. If there's ever an issue like this, I will just kind of get, I will get another one of these and I'll put it across and I will fiddle with it separately. So I like to get that as level as I can. Again, I just fiddle with the straightness, get it to where about I want it. I don't want the car kind of on it. So I'm just going to move this up and move this one up. See where that kind of ends. Alright, so it doesn't really have the car in it. That looks absolutely terrible, so we're going to enlarge this so it doesn't look so sketchy. Yeah, so the biggest thing I could just say for any type of advice, even from a beginner like me who has no idea what they're doing, just slide little slide bars around. Just add bits here and there and see what you like. It doesn't have to be what looks professional. Make it look right in your own eyes because that's the biggest and the most important thing is what looks good in your eyes. If you're not happy with the detail, change it. So I'll add a little bit of I'll take away a little bit of exposure, maybe add a little bit of contrast, darken the highlights, add a little bit of black. So just pull your sliders here, there, everywhere. Make it look terrible at first because then you know what's bad. That's always my starting point. So I do this and I'll go, that looks bad. That looks terrible. I don't want that. Get rid of it. All right, what does the other way look like? Okay, it looks flat, it looks smooth, it looks like a painting. That's not what I want. All right, so I want to bring it up this way. I want to add a little bit of texture going that way. I want to add a little bit of clarity because it darkens it, adds a little bit more detail, kind of makes like it takes it takes a little bit of like haze away. I want to dehaze a little bit, make it a little bit more darker at the top. Maybe bring the sharpness up because you want it to be a little bit more sharper, because you do want people noticing that there is that nice background in the back. Yeah, that's pretty much all I do for skies. Sometimes I'll slide this around. I'll try and find like a nicer blue. So if I want like a lighter sky or lighter water, that's what I would do. I would add that. Sometimes I will add like a line on here, so it will do the same to the water, so it doesn't make the water look like it's separated. And I am doing this on a 2014 MacBook Pro, I think. So it does take a very long time for it to load. As you can see, the little loading bars coming up, and that is annoying. But that's fine. Yeah, so pretty much that's all I do for my photos, is I just kind of edit it here, there, everywhere. I don't do anything crazy. I don't do anything that's going to be like out there and, you know. Alright guys, so that is how I edit my photos. I reckon anyone who sees this is going to completely be annoyed at it, because that's not how you would edit a photo. And if you want to see how to edit a photo very well, go check out like Peter McKinnon or anyone else that edits photos as like a primary job, because I honestly don't know what I'm doing. But that's the joy of learning what to do, is you don't know what you're doing, but you're going to do it anyway. And it's that first step to learning what to do. So make sure you guys go and check out Peter McKinnon and a bunch of other YouTubers that know how to edit a photo and do recording and everything, because right now I'm recording on a GoPro and it washes all the colors and it looks absolutely terrible. So I'm going to be upgrading to a new Canon very soon, but for now we're going to have to put up with this terrible GoPro quality. So don't, judge me for the terrible quality. I'm using a desk lamp to light my room. I'm using lighting. I'm even using a bedside table lamp for a little bit of background lighting. This is not a professional studio, so if you're here to see professional work, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm in the early stages of learning how to edit, and I don't know how to edit yet. So if you guys have any like tips or any way that you would do it, make sure you share that. Share your Lightroom presets down below, because I would love to check them out. Yeah, I'm not a professional. I just want to make sure everyone understands that. So don't be in the comments like, that's not how you professionally edit a photo. I just want to show how I do it, the little changes that I do to like have a photo the way I want it to be. And just to kind of show you guys, I don't just slap a photo together and post it because I want like clout. I actually want to be good at photography and videography and like all that, because that's what I'm interested in. So if you guys are interested in what I'm interested in, which is EDC, knives, guns, anything like that, make sure you guys drop a like and even a subscribe. That would be great and really helpful for the channel. So please do that. You're free to comment down below. Anything bad, good, I don't care, because I will make sure I respond and we can have a decent discussion about it. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll be back next week with another video. So enjoy your week, keep safe, and I'll catch you guys then.